We all know them man that are in jail and their cells are stacked. Stacked. By stacked, what does stacked mean, Cole? Explain it, Cole. Stacked is, you know, they'll have 50 link shower gels, they'll have 50 Radoxes shower gels, they'll have 10 Imperial leather roll-ons, 10 Lynx roll-ons, God knows how many baby lotions, uh, KAs, cans of KAs coming out of the Jaxie, Rubicons. Do they do Rubicons a lot in jail there? We having Rubicons going up the wall, milks going up all up the cell window. You know what I mean? Dove soaps that they never use. The Ramo made the cells just looks like the roof's being held up with Dove soap boxes. You know what I mean? Bottles of water. Who needs bottles of water when you're in jail? You just get up and go to your tap. That's what I used to think. Get bottles of water and then boil it anyway. Definitely boil the tap water. I don't know. You might like piles. Who knows? But we all know them. And I used to think it's all just for show. Well, it is for show, right? And those like, usually it is for show. Tins and tins of tuna, stacks of shitty noodles. Like, you're living big, man. You can't walk in that. You can't walk in and out of the hotel because everything's on display. Everything is on display. I mean, in reality, it should all just be put in a box under your bed, innit? Yeah, ready to go, right? Saying that, I never used to have loads of things. There was most of the time I had nothing in myself, man. It was bare. I never thought more than a week in front. I never thought more longer than a week. You know what I mean? What was on my canteen sheet that week? Never thought, yeah, I'm gonna stack this, stack that. Sometimes I did in my younger days, first few sentences and all that. When I was about to say when I still had my head on, but I was in jail, so I didn't have. I was still an idiot, but I was better with my money, I should say. But even then, I never used to have loads of things out. I'd have my stereo out, and if I was on in Lance and I was lucky enough to have a PlayStation, so that'd be out. Everything else would be in the cupboards or under the bed. It's all just for show, isn't it? And I used to think that. And I used to think that was all they're doing it for, just to show off. They're still buying Lynxes every week, just to have it on display and to show the next man. Oh, look at all this shit I've got. But I sort of wish if I got banged up now, touch wood, never gonna happen. It won't happen. I don't even need to touch wood, but I'll touch it anyway. I would definitely stack, 100%. I would stack. Because people, like a few of the people in here even have sort of half mentioned, like, why haven't you ever mentioned the cost of living crisis and all that? And it's sort of like, I sort of think, because it was obvious to me that all this problems were going to happen. It was obvious a couple of years ago. It was obvious what was going to happen. Prices have gone up, shelves are empty. Yeah, it was clear that was going to happen to me a couple of years ago. So it wasn't a shock to me when it all started happening a couple of months ago. It was clear. Yeah, it was clear to me that a 50p tin of spam was going to be as much as a steak, right? And it is. Yeah, go into a supermarket, look at a corned beef or a tin of spam or something. Yeah, it's exactly the same price as steak. But I could tell that was going to happen a couple of years ago. So I stacked. Yeah. What I should have done in jail is what I've done now. So when everything was still at a normal price, a couple of years ago, literally, I stacked. Right, there is a suitcase, 2 suitcases full of shit that ain't gonna go out of date ever. Yeah, right, tins and tins of stuff that's now expensive as a steak. Right, so tuna. I ain't gonna go into what I got, but like, I could tell it was gonna happen So I got all that. Yeah, I even got a generator. I spent 350 quid or 300 quid on a generator. Yeah. So when people talk to me about all this, oh yeah, everything's getting expensive, I sort of go, yeah, it goes over my head because I knew it was going to happen, so it's not hitting me. Yeah, because I stacked at the beginning when it was clear it was going to happen. I'm not like going, oh yeah, stupid people, how didn't you know? Because a lot of people get their info from the TV, innit? Yeah, and fair enough. But yeah, I knew it was going to happen. It was clear to me it was going to happen. So I got a suitcase that you can't even lift up with 2 hands, mate. It's like a challenge at a fair. That's how much shit's in it. So yeah, so I go shopping and I still only get the luxury stuff that I want to get because I ain't running out of nothing. I ain't worried about nothing because I stacked up first. Maybe that's what those people in jail were doing. They weren't showing off. They weren't showing off. They were worrying that one day their canteen sheets weren't going to have nothing on it, so they were stacking. Maybe that's what it was. They weren't. They didn't really care. Some of them did care about showing off. Some of them did care. Most of them probably cared. I'm just saying. There was probably 1 or 2 in the mix that were just sort of preppers. End of the world preppers in jail. Could see the writing on the wall and thought, when the screws don't turn up for work, mate, I'm not starving. Imagine that. Imagine being in there, like, and just say it happened, whatever. I'm not saying anything is, by the way. I'm not trying to give a doomsday prediction here. Right, I'm really not. I'm just waffling. Just imagine, for whatever reason, that every single screw disappeared off the face of the earth tomorrow morning, and no one else was able to get to the jail to unlock it. A big force field just went around all the jails. Imagine how like panicky you'd be if you was in the cell, and then you just, because you wouldn't realise at first, you'd be like on the bell and you get up and go, no one's going to call. That'd be the first thing you notice. Well, you probably wouldn't even notice that, would you? Who gets up at them times? Who gets up with the court people? So you got up at like 8, or you didn't get up till 10 or something, and you thought, hold on a minute, they didn't crack my door for work. You're at the door, talking to next door. What's going on? I don't know, mate. I've been up since 7. I ain't heard nothing. No keys, nothing. Imagine the panic, mate. Like when it slowly dawned on you that there was no one there to unlock you. You'd be, well, if you were stacking, mate, you'd be fine, wouldn't you? If you had all your noodles and your tunas, you'd be living sweet. Living sweet watching Jeremy Carwin this morning. Everyone else is panicking, mate. You stacked, you're sweet. Moral of that story, stack. If you enjoyed that, hit subscribe and we'll chat again. Adios.